Hi, everybody. Shalom. I'm down at the Jordan River. Had to go doing a little bit of shopping. There's an amazing amount of traffic here. But the reason why I'm down here, we're on our way to get coffee. I have a mask when we actually go into the store. And I'm here with my good friend, Rabbi Ken Spiro. Some of you know him. And he is not only my study partner, we got rabbinical ordination together, right? We are two rabbis a long time ago. And not only that, he's a great historian. He's written lots of books. I'll tell about them to you another time. But he's also, well, that's how I was going to say right now. He's a tour guide. So while we were on our way to go and get some coffee, I said, let's go see the Kinneret. And actually, we came down to the Jordan River. Here we are. And if you look behind me, I don't know if you can see that. It says 2,200 and
209, below,
minus 209. That's 209 meters below sea level. And yeah, tell us what that's all about.
Well, so we're the Sea of Galilee, which is the Kinneret in Hebrew, is the largest above ground fresh body of water in Israel. The Dead Sea, which is south of here, also in this valley, which is Israel's eastern border, is larger, but it's the saltiest body of water in the world. So the Dead Sea is more than 400 meters below sea level. Here, it's about 200 meters below sea level. And what I'm very excited about being here, because Israel's had less than normal rain for many years in drought conditions. In 1992, remember that big snow?
Right.
And it filled up, but the last few decades, the water level has been dropping critically low. Last winter, we had above average rainfall. And this winter, we had such great rainfall that the Sea of Galilee is actually at its maximum level before they have to open the southern side of the Sea of Galilee. It's in the north, it's fed by three rivers, but the southern side, the only water that goes out is the Jordan River, which begins, this is the bottom, the very southern end of the Sea of Galilee is right here.
Right.
And this is the dam over here.
Right.
And it's actually at the...
Here, let's take a look at the dam.
Yeah, it's actually...
let's walk around to the front.
Maximum level. It's just about, we have to open it up.
What's miraculous is that usually when the sea is down at the black level, at the lowest of the low, they say, oh, we're going to need 5-6 years of good rain to get it back to normal.
Exactly.
And miraculously this year, it went from the lowest of the low to maximum, overflowing. And it really is a miracle.
You say man proposes or plans and God laughs.
Yeah,
so here it is, right down here.
Here's the water. That's the water of the lake flowing over the sluice into the Jordan River. And we're going to walk across the street right now, and you're going to get to see a place that many of you have seen or been to. We'll just put out our fingers and they'll start out here, Ken. Okay, here we walked across the street, and okay, we're back. You don't get such great reception when you're so far below sea level.
Exactly. Should have rolled the windows up.
Yeah, right.
One of the only places in the world, by the way, where you stand below sea level and be above water. And we're here only 200 meters below sea level. But like I said, if you're looking in back, the Jordan River, I'm from New York originally. I've been living here almost 40 years, but you go to the Hudson River in New York and Mississippi.
That's the river.
And we say it's like, it's like Shmuel, everything in Israel. It's like the Jewish people. We're very small, we pack a punch. Jordan, it might not, you always say the land of Israel, it lacks in physical size, it makes up for in spirituality. So this is the Jordan at about as big as it gets. And it's a little deeper. They actually didn't open up, even though it reached the level where they could have opened up the dam. They decided to make a channel and divert less water into it. So there is water flowing in a little, but they could have opened it up and the level probably would have been up significantly higher over here.
Well, I heard there's pumps that go into the natural water carrier below here, and they didn't want all the silt and everything that came to go into the pumps, so they wanted to bypass the pumps.
But it's one of the big problems that the water, Israel is desalinating more than 50% of its water. Almost 90% of the wastewater is reused for agriculture. The Jordan, our neighbor, on the other side of the Jordan, is a water poor country, except for the Gulf of Aqaba. They have no water access, which is down all the way by a lot. If you go 250 miles plus south, we'll end up at the southern part of here.
Right.
But the Jordan River basically dead ends in the Dead Sea, and because the inflow, so much water is being taken out of the Jordan River, there's very little going to the Dead Sea. So unfortunately, the Dead Sea is dying. The actual level is going down, down, down by a meter every year permanently. But when you south of here is when you go much further south. If we travel about an hour and a half south, you come to the place where the Israelites crossed in the book of Joshua. Remember, the Bible, the 5 books of Moses end with Deuteronomy, with Moses dying and Joshua taking over. And literally, the water stops flowing. Another miracle. And it stops flowing all day long because 3 million people are crossing.
Wow.
So the water piles up on one side. All the Jewish people cross like they did it, splitting at the sea, going back to the Passover narrative. And then the ark kind of flies across like hovercraft with the Kohanim holding, the priests holding onto the handles. And as soon as the ark crosses, this huge wall of water that had been piling up for the entire day, must have been amazing to see. Shame we couldn't do a live Facebook that one. That would have been great. This is BC though. This is before cell phones, so we don't have that recorded.
Okay. So we're going to take a little stroll over here. We want to try to find where they built that canal to take the water out. It's like I said, it's like when you have a bathtub overflow. That's basically what they built.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's just walk over here for a second. We're on the Highway 90 that goes up to Tiberias. Tiberias is up this way behind me. This way we're going to go farther south. Here we are in this is the military cemetery at Kibbutz Degania. And here's the pillbox.
This is an old guard position from this was heavy fighting here in '48. Right over here, the Jordanians overran this kibbutzim, the original kibbutzim of Israel. The Degania over here was overrun by the Jordanians. And so this was a military position protecting the road. By the way, Road 90 is the longest road in the country.
Right.
Yeah, you can go about 7 hours, the longest drive from Eilat, 7 maybe 8 hours, all the way up to the Lebanese border, but as far as you can get.
Right, so here's a sign in Hebrew that says Degania, and this is Kibbutz Degania, and this is where you get your Galilee green olive oil from. We might be able to see some of the olive trees as we walk by, and the olive orchards, our olive orchards where we pick the olives from are actually irrigated from the Jordan River, because they come right up to the river, so they use it for irrigation rather than pumping water.
Military cemetery.
Right. So there was, I was here Shalom, my son Shalom was in the army, and one Yom Zikaron, he was in the military group that did the ceremony. We came down here to be with him, and it was pretty intense. But this year it was all canceled.
I know. Usually soldiers stand by the graves. It's an interesting. Israel, by the way, for a country the size of New Jersey, has 36 military cemeteries. Very heavy thing because there's unfortunately wars every decade. And unlike America, where there's 330 million people, a little country like Israel, it's like losing family members.
Right.
I want to explain it. I say to work out the equivalent number of Americans dying and Israeli soldiers killed is times 50.
Right. Yeah, 48. Yeah, 50 times the population.
Yeah.
When I was reporting the number of COVID-19 victims, seems like the numbers are here very small. When you multiply them by 50, they're significant. Yeah, they're significant. So this is Kibbutz Degania proper, and actually Hadassah's house is nearby here, who helps make our olive oil. Want to share something about Kibbutz Degania, what it's about? Well, it's founded in 1910.
It's the original kibbutz of Israel. The whole kibbutz movement was founded in the early pre-state years on a sort of socialist collective idea. It was this whole idea of Jews reclaiming the land. The whole idea behind Zionism was that the Jews had lived in diaspora amongst non-Jews for so long, and we'd forgotten, besides having no national independence and no passport and no port of refuge and no homeland, we'd also forgotten our roots in terms of being farming and that whole, even though most of these kibbutzim, by the way, the elite of Israel, Degania especially, produced a lot of political leaders came out of here, and I think Moshe Dayan was from.
Yeah, Moshe Dayan was born
Degania.
I think he was like one of the first children born
Right.
at
And
the kibbutz.
and so this was the early political leadership of Israel was overwhelmingly secular, often quite socialist in their economic worldview. But their idea was to create like a new kind of Jew and fertile, in the soil of earth in the land of Israel, which is the fighting, farming Hebrew. Actually, all these guys changed their names even.
Right.
To take on biblical names, like David Green became David Ben Gurion.
Right.
But Yitzhak Rabin was the first prime minister, also kibbutz guy. He was the first prime minister of Israel born in Israel. All the ones who came before,
Right.
whether it's Levi Eshkol or David Ben Gurion or
Golda Meir.
They were all born in Eastern Europe, and their first language was Yiddish.
Right.
So, but this is really the creme de la creme of the founding ideal of reclaiming the land and farming and becoming physically strong and fighting and farming. That was the real ideal, and this is Degania really exemplified that more than anywhere else.
What's fascinating is there is a return to roots. Hadass, who makes our olive oil with us, her family is from the original Miyazdim founders, and she's been getting a little more spiritual, a little more into it, and started going to classes. They have some classes on, we passed the place here. They would send a teacher, come and give classes here. Let's cross the street here, and we'll see the river. But she was telling me they had the old dining hall that's not used anymore, and she converted it into a shul.
No way.
Yeah. So they have a little synagogue there that the woman who helps us make the olive oil built. Kibbutz Degania, the original founders knew about it. They wouldn't believe it. Okay, you can see things are pretty well back to normal and busy in Israel.
Here we go.
All right. Wow, this is really high. Now this is out of the lake.
This is really the beginning of the Jordan River is right here. Exactly.
Sorry?
This is really the beginning of the Jordan River.
Yeah, this is
right
the...
over here. I mean, from this side.
Here, let's talk about it.
I mean, the Jordan River is also at the other side. It comes in from Lebanon. That's where
right
all
on
the
the
water
northern.
The Hatzbani, the Dan River, they're all on the other side, but only one river comes out here. So we have. That's why they say, by the way, the Sea of Galilee is living. It is fresh water.
Right.
It used to be the number one source of fresh water. Now, actually, the underground aquifer was, but the Dead Sea is dead because the Sea of Galilee gets water from three rivers and gives water. The Dead Sea, because it's the lowest spot, is 200 meters lower. It only gets and it doesn't give. Nothing can. It doesn't. It only takes. It can't give anything out of it. So it's that. And the lesson we learn is it's good to give. It's good to get, but you have to give. If you only take and don't give, then you're dead.
Wow.
That's awesome. The water was very welcoming, especially because it's like about really hot here now. It's like in the mid 90s.
Yeah, basically in the span of a few days, we went from being extremely cool and
exactly.
It was beautiful, the weather.
Notice here, I was here, a year ago. This was all land. It was
all dry.
It was dry land. These trees now, they're in the water.
Here. This whole channel wasn't here, probably.
This wasn't the channel. This was all dry. Everything.
Wow.
The water is really high. It's a really pleasure to see. It's like perfect water temperature.
Okay, we should have brought our suits. We're gonna go see if we can find the tunnel. We're gonna sign off for now, but stay tuned. Oh, Kenny, welcome to Israel. Oh. מאיפה אתם? מצפת? יפה, ברוכים הבאים. אני יבנאלי. יבנאל. למעלה פה. 8 דקות מפה. Okay, people are coming out to visit and see the land. They came from the Shomron just to come and see the lake like we did. And Ken lives in the old city of Jerusalem. And he came up to visit tonight. And going to be here tomorrow. We're going to have Shabbat together. And I'm going to sign off right now. But stay tuned because we're going to try and find where that channel is. And we'll share it with you. Maybe we'll share with you something tomorrow after Shabbat. And God willing, I'm going to invite Ken to be on one of our Zoom sessions. Get a special Zoom session if you got topics, because he's a tour guide, an historian. If you got topics, put them in the comments. Let me know, and I'll try to convince him to jump on the Zoom session, and we'll do a joint Zoom session. So we'll see you.
We're doing it today. Everything's Zoom.
Okay. Well, we're live here at the Kinneret. They're not.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here. You're not. But because we came here, I wanted to share it with you.
As soon as flights open up, they can all come.
That's true. Any idea when the flights are going to start again?
Next month.
Next month, mean June?
They said they're going to start opening up, assuming there's no second wave.
Uh-huh.
That's
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're signing off for now. We'll speak to you all soon.